described that. That was just absolutely spectacular.
From the Charlotte Rush coach's office here at the Extreme Ice Center in Indian Trail, North Carolina, it's our playoff preview here on this Wednesday, February 21st. Charlotte Rush in the United States Hockey League playoffs this weekend for the elite and premier teams. We're going to talk about the Premier League right now, and to do that, let's bring in the head coach of the Charlotte Rush Premier, Trevor Jewell. Trevor, congratulations on a great finish. You obviously won the Southeast Division, but also won the overall Premier Division Championship with a record of 40 wins, 2 losses, and 2 overtime and shootout losses. So certainly congratulations on that. I know you and Ryan and the entire coaching staff couldn't be happier.
Yeah, very proud of what this group was able to accomplish, and you know, it's a testament to what they were able to do on the ice and becoming a team and forming their identity early on in the season. So we're very proud of what they accomplished, but now the real season begins.
All right, Trevor, you talked about some team-building activities. We had a little fluke in the schedule, which allowed us an extra week in between. Talked about some team-building activities and some fun things to get the guys maybe away from hockey. Tell us about those.
Yeah, well, we went to a Checkers game as an organization, so it kept all the guys together. But, you know, outside of that, we didn't do too much just because we needed guys to rest and recuperate and get healthy and things like that if they had any bumps or bruises and stuff. So they had time to themselves and obviously took that time to themselves, but we had a little bit of fun together, and I thought it was a good time and a great experience for all the guys.
Trevor, you had told us a couple of weeks ago after our big series with Atlanta when we closed out the regular season that you weren't a big fan of having a week in between off. The schedule makers threw us an extra week off with you and one other team, and 4 of the other teams played last weekend. With that extra week, and I know that is not your preference, but any concerns with that moving forward here?
Just our starts. You know, I think having a week off, you tend to start a little bit slow, but I mean, or they get a little over antsy and they come out a little too fired up and we bobble pucks and overskate some things, but you know, just with a little extra excitement. But I think you know, if we can manage that, we'll be just fine. But outside of that, I mean, I don't really have any concerns. You know, obviously it's one of those things where you'd like to be playing to see if because you're still in a rhythm, and having a weekend off there, it might throw you out of your rhythm a little bit. But it was good for us to get some rest and let our guys heal and recuperate and kind of, you know, get healthy for the first round, which is a big deal.
Charlotte Rush will play the Richmond Generals, a team that they did very well with in the regular season. But, Trevor, let's talk about that for a moment. You've been a player and a coach for a long time, and you know that the playoff season really is a whole different animal. It's a whole new season at any level, whether it's NHL, minor leagues, juniors. You know, sometimes a lower seed can just get hot and pop up. So, again, there'll be no rest for the weary this weekend, will there?
No, not at all. I mean, Richmond's a good team, and obviously anybody can win at any given moment, especially in our division. You know, they're all very good teams and very strong teams. So Richmond's going to come in here prepared, and we're going to be prepared for them. You know, we got our game plan, we're ready to go, but at the same time, they're coming in ready to beat us. You know, after the last time we played them, I mean, I'm sure they got revenge on their minds, and especially now in a very important time of the season, you know, that they're looking to come in here and knock us off, which, you know, at the end of the day, we can't allow to happen. We're at home, and, you know, we have to protect being home. We have to protect home ice, and I think our guys are ready to go. We're excited, and we want to get things going right away.
The Richmond Generals have been a very physical team. They've brought the physical side. We've had some really big games with them, physical games, lots of penalties. Do you think that will continue by them in the playoffs, Trevor, or maybe now that it's playoffs, cooler heads will prevail?
Well, I would hope to say cooler heads will prevail. I mean, it's playoff hockey. You want to be up and down the ice. You want to stay out of the box. You don't want to be, you know, on special teams the whole game. So if we can stay out of the box, we'll be just fine because that's our game plan. We got to stay out of the box, you know, no matter who we're playing. So I'm not sure what their game plan is. I'm sure they'll try to get us off our game as much as possible, but we can't allow that to happen. We have to be mentally strong, and we have to make sure we stick to our game plan, and that will help us, you know, win 2 hockey games.
Trevor Jewell, head coach of the Charlotte Rush Premier, joining us on our playoff preview, our video Wednesday here at the Extreme Ice Center in the Rush coach's office on this Wednesday, February the 21st. Trevor, I want to talk a little bit about the situation with your goaltenders that you talked about. Again, you got 3 great goalies. They all played well down the stretch. Sam Best had kind of been the number 1, but again, I would imagine you're probably going to just wait until tomorrow to make that final decision for the goalies on Friday. What's your thoughts going forward?
I mean, my thoughts going forward, I think you know, Best is you know, he's one of the best goalies in the league, and I think Benedict's come on very strong as of late. Their competitions in practice have been very good, but you know, again, at the end of the day, it's who's going to put in the better body body of work during the week, and if that doesn't happen, then it makes my job easy. But if they're going to compete with each other, then it makes my job hard. But at the end of the day, it's who has the better week that's going to be in between the pipes on Friday, and I think those guys have deserved every bit of the playing time they've gotten, and I think it's been a very good year for both of them. So it's going to be a difficult decision. Obviously, we'll have to make that decision after practice tomorrow, and be ready to go Friday morning.
Speaking of decisions, for the forwards and D, we've got 24, 25 players on the Premier. You can only dress 21. So, Trevor, you and the coaching staff, certainly from the forwards and D, in addition to the goalies, also have to make some decisions there. We're not going to talk about specific players and who might be in and who won't now, but I would imagine the practice competition has been very strong, as I'm sure there's 4 or 5 guys that don't want to be scratched on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to be scratched, but at the end of the day, we got to go with our guns, and we got to make sure the guys that are going are playing and they're in the lineup. So, we don't want to scratch anybody at the end of the day, but it's a performance-based industry. It's more of the same with the goalies. Whoever puts in the better body of work during the week is going to be the guy in the lineup, and we have to make sure that we're keeping an eye on that stuff every day and make sure those guys are prepared and doing the right things, day in and day out to be in the lineup. So at the end of the day, we got to make a decision tomorrow, and it's going to be a tough one. But our guys are ready to go. They're always competing with each other. It's been like that all year.
And that can always change from game to game, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Trevor Jewell, head coach of the Charlotte Rush Premier, with his thoughts and observations on the playoff games coming up this weekend for the Charlotte Rush Premier. Let's give you that schedule. The Rush will play both games against the Richmond Generals. Saturday, the Rush will face it off at 12:45. I'll make that Friday, I beg your pardon. Friday, the Rush will be here at 12:45 to take on the Richmond Generals, and then Saturday, it'll be a 3 o'clock face-off. So it'll be 12:45 on Friday, 3 o'clock on Saturday, the Rush's regular rink, the training rink here at the Extreme Ice Center. Well, Trevor, again, you've done well. John Keating will not let me give your record since you took over for Ryan Crothers for obvious reasons, so we're not going to go there and do that, but let's just tell our viewers he's done pretty well. So, Trevor, congrats. We wish you and the guys nothing but the best in these playoffs this weekend.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
All right, head coach of the Charlotte Rush Premier, Trevor Jewell. Don't forget, the Rush will defend the beginning of the defense of their national championship. It all begins this weekend, Friday at 12:45 here at the Extreme Ice Center, and then Saturday at 3 o'clock. Don't forget to visit our Charlotte Rush social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as our Charlotte Rush YouTube channel. From the coach's office of the Charlotte Rush here at the Extreme Ice Center at Indian Trail, North Carolina, I'm Tim Donnelly. Thanks for watching.